Welcome to the first video. My name is Hector Santiesteban, and this video is about self-mastery. And once again, I want to welcome you to the Millennial Skills community. And really, we're here to start a revolution and to help you change your life and to help change the world along with it as well. First, I want to remind you to print out your blueprint and your handout as well. Those things are something that you can review and constantly use on a daily basis. I found that for me, doing it on a daily basis is probably the most helpful because it gives me the most direction, the most focus as I'm going throughout the day. So make sure you either are filling that out. I personally put it on the lock screen of my phone, so every time I open up my phone, I'm constantly reminded of my goals for today. So I'd encourage you to use that as much as you can to make sure that you're getting the most out of that blueprint. But my goal today is to get you to feel better about your ability to have mastery over your own life. And I see it in myself in the past, and now I see it in friends. But I have a ton of friends who are walking around without a sense of purpose or a sense of direction in their life, and they don't have any sense of their why, and it really contributes to a low self-esteem. They don't feel good about themselves. They don't have any love for themselves, and also it results in them not being able to find love in relationships. I see so many unhappy people and so many disingenuous and so much infidelity in our world, in our generation, and there's a lack of a sense of belonging, and also in other people, just a lack of physical health, whether that be how they are currently living health-wise, or whether they're living situations. I have a ton of people who aren't living in the places where they want to live, living with the people that they're not living with the people who they want to live with, and they're just their physical environment isn't ideal. And so my goal is to be able to help you to start turning those things around, because I know for me, there's been times where I was really, really unhealthy. There was times where I was super unhealthy, and there was times where I was not, financially well off, and there was times where I was really, just not happy in my relationships. And so my goal is to be able to help you to be able to turn those around. So let's talk about a couple of the things that are really important in order for you to be able to have control and mastery over your life. And I think the first thing that you want to have is a sense of purpose, right? And some people call it their why, but a sense of purpose gives you a sense of fulfillment. It gives you a sense of energy and a sense of direction for your life. And I think that that's so important throughout our day, because we are going to deal with challenges, and we are going to deal with things that are going to come up in our lives, and it's our duty and responsibility to be able to learn from those and be able to push past those, because we have a deeper reason why we're here on this planet. We have a deeper reason why we're here on this earth, and that's ultimately for us to find out, and us to figure out, and us to really create. And so what that does, though, is it gives you some sustainable energy, right? So that when shit does hit the fan, that you're able to push past it. And that looks like a couple of things. The first is meaning making, right? Because whenever we are dealt obstacles or challenges, what are the meanings that we're making out of those situations, out of those experiences, out of those events? And I think that when we're able to give the correct meaning and give the correct relationship, or give that correct attention to that event, then we're able to grow from it. We're able to become a better person from it. And I think that's important in order for us to move forward in our lives. And the second thing is job crafting, right? And what is it that we're doing on a daily basis, on a regular and consistent basis, that's moving us closer towards our purpose, right? Are we doing things that are going to align with our values and align with our goals? Part of my values are being able to make this video. I wanted to be able to share what I've learned and share the knowledge that I've gained from reading books and watching audios or watching videos and listening to countless podcasts, because I think that there's a ton of value out there that our generation has to see. So I want to be able to share that with you. So once we figured out that purpose, what that translates into is our goals and our dreams. And I think it's so important for people to have goals and have dreams and have a vision for their life, right? And what that does is that gives us a sense of some internal motivation. We can be motivated by incentives and carrots or sticks, but the most powerful motivation is internal motivation, because that's the one that's consistent. That's the one that continues on. And so when you're thinking about your goals and your dreams, there's a couple of things that you want to think about. The first is your goals and your dreams should give you some sort of competency or mastery in something, right? Your goals or your dreams should help you get better at something. I think that it's so important for us as humans to experience that ability to learn and grow. I think that's a huge reason why we're humans. So our goals and dreams should stretch us and help us to take leaps in our abilities and as a person, in our skills as an individual. And so mastery, right, is going to include a couple of things. First off, it's a mindset, right? You got to understand that growth is a mindset and mastery is a mindset, and that's going to involve a lot of pain and sacrifice. And we're never really going to get there. It's something that's called asymptotic, right? Which means that, if the line is here, we're going to approach it, but we're never quite going to get there. And we've got to understand that and appreciate the beauty in that, right? And the fact that we can always get a little bit better is really what it means. The second thing is autonomy. And we really want to be able to have our goals and our dreams move us closer towards freedom, right? Freedom to do what we want, when we want, with who we want to do it with. And I think that that's such a great thing about living in today, is that we have that opportunity more than ever before in this world. Do we have the opportunity to have freedom in our lives? And it's really up to us to be able to take advantage of things and the tools and the resources that we have, like this video, you're already on your way, to help us move closer towards that freedom, right? So autonomy is going to give us a sense of self-direction as well. The third is we want our goals and our dreams to create a sense of connection or a sense of relatedness with other people. We're social creatures, and it's important for us to develop those relationships and develop those bonds with other people, because not only is that going to give us a sense of fulfillment, make us happier, but it's also going to propel our success and accelerate our success that much quicker. One thing that I've learned is that I can't do things on my own, and that if I want to have the life that I want, that I dream of, it's going to involve other people, and it's going to involve a team, and it's going to involve customers, and it's going to involve shareholders, and it's going to involve people that I'm interacting with. So it's really important that you understand that that is a part of us as human beings, is to create those connections with other people. So you should be looking to develop those bonds and those strengthen those relationships as well. And the last thing that our goals and dreams should allow us is to have some sense of high performance. And what that means is, I want you to be a badass. I want you to be good at something, right? I think that that's so important for us as a human being to experience, us being good at something, right? To get some recognition, to get some praise, right? That feels good. That's energy for the soul. And so I think it's super important for us as people to be able to do well at something, to find something that we can be good at. And the nice thing about living in today, once again, is that those opportunities are boundless. You really just have to be able to find something that you can engage in, something that you can get better in, and really throw your time and your energy into it. And I think that right there will do so much for your energy. It'll do so much for your results, your income, your lifestyle, just your overall fulfillment in life is so huge. So you're like, okay, Hector, so I've got my purpose, I've got my why, I've got my vision, I've got my goals, my dreams. How do I do it, right? How do I actually get there? Well, I'm going to give you 3 last things that you want to work on in order to master yourself, right? You want to master your routines, your choices, and your thoughts. And those are the 3 things that make up our everyday life, right? So let's start at the very, very top, right? Let's start at the umbrella with the routines that we have. If we look at our days and our weeks and our months and our years, we'll notice that we do things constantly over and over and over again. We're creatures of habit, and it's really tough to be able to get away from that. So we have to play to that ball, play to that field, and understand that that's going to be a part of who we are. So understand that your routines are your big gears, right? If it's a watch, the routines are the big gears that really drive the events and the results and the lifestyle, right? Because those are the things that make up the biggest part of our day, and they're also the things that take the least amount of thought too. So we can really use that to our advantage. Now, Hector, like, okay, so how do I figure out what my routines are? Well, think about the choices that you make on an everyday basis. What are the smaller choices that you make? Do you decide to get the chili fries, or do you decide to get the salad, right? Do you decide to set your alarm clock for 6 a.m., or do you decide to set your alarm clock for 9 a.m., right? Do you decide to get up early? Do you decide to go to bed late? What are the choices that you're making? And at the end of the day, when we are able to take a step back, we can be objective about it and realize that the choices have repercussions, right? For better or worse. Those repercussions could be good consequences, right? I think consequence is a better word to use. Those choices have consequences, and those consequences could be better or worse, bad, good, or bad, right? But they all have consequences. So if we want to understand our choices, think about the thoughts that we're having on a regular basis, right? Think about the thoughts that are filling up our head before we make the choices. What are the ingredients to those choices? Well, those are thoughts, and those come on an individual basis, right? And sometimes most people, I know I was guilty of this before, I spent a lot of time and energy working on this, don't even realize the thoughts that are going through their head. They don't even understand that they're having these thoughts, right? That are making up these choices, that are creating these routines, that are shaping their life. So if we can identify the thoughts that we have in our head, right, through being mindful, through meditating, just through journaling, right, just through being self-aware, then we can start to change and shift the choices that we make into the ones that we want. And then we can also start to adopt new routines that are going to create the lifestyle that we really want. So when you start to change your habits, right, your choices, your routines, you'll start to move closer to your goals and your dreams, and you'll start to fulfill that sense of purpose, that sense of why, which I think is so important for you guys as individuals to experience the lifestyle that you want. So once again, this is your self-mastery video. Go ahead and share this if you find this helpful. Definitely stay tuned for your next video. You're going to love it.